1, 0.
Hi, you may think it's early for a Christmas video, but I know folk are already planning the big gifts, and I want to make sure that if a telescope is one of those big gifts, you are armed with a few facts. Now, buying a telescope can be a bewildering exercise, and products range from toy store €50 models to expensive scopes in high-end shops and online. To know what to buy, it helps to know what the main parts of a telescope are and what they do. In simple terms, the telescope carries out two steps. First, it captures an image. Using the front objective lens, light from the object is bent and an image is formed within the telescope. The distance between the lens and the image is the focal length of the telescope. Step 2, using the rear lens or eyepiece as a magnifying glass, it makes the captured image look bigger. Different types of telescope may use mirrors to bend the light instead of an objective lens, but the principle is the same. The brightness of the image formed in the telescope depends on the diameter of the objective lens. The bigger it is, the more light it can let in, and so the brighter the image. This is important because when we magnify the image, the same amount of light is spread over a larger space, so the object gets darker or dimmer. Magnifying an image by 10 reduces the brightness of the final magnified image by 100. If the original image is not very bright, you will see nothing if it is over-magnified. The resolution of an image is a measure of the smallest detail that can be detected on the image. It's the same as blowing up a low-resolution photograph. After a certain amount of magnification, you can't make out any more detail, no matter how much you magnify it. The quality of the lens will determine the level of the resolution. So if a captured image is not bright and of low resolution, then you won't be able to magnify it very much before the quality is so poor you can see no detail. For a top-end telescope, the magnification limit is about 50 times per inch of objective lens. Another consideration is the mount or the stand. You can have the finest telescope in the world, but if the slightest touch or breeze causes even a slight movement, your magnified image will vigorously bounce all over the field of view, making it unobservable. Here is a typical example of a toy telescope being sold as the real thing. We see that rather than give the diameter of the objective lens, they instead give the focal length, basically because it looks a more impressive figure. 700mm is about 28 inches. This is a 3-inch telescope, i.e. the objective lens is 3 inches. A top-end 3-inch telescope would allow you to magnify an object about 150 times. This scope with cheap plastic lenses is promising 525 times magnification. The price of $64.99, expensive for a toy perhaps, but way too cheap for a genuine telescope. So what to look out for? Remember, a bigger lens will give you more light. A 3-inch scope is fine for a beginner. And lens quality is important. Anything less than 150 to €200 is not going to deliver quality, and a solid mount is an absolute must. Beware of telescopes being sold on the basis of magnification. Although 50 times per inch is the absolute max, a realistic maximum would be 20 to 30 per inch, which means a 3-inch scope would max out at about 90, perhaps 100x, and that is fine for getting started. So where to buy? Telescope specialists, camera shops, and trusted second-hand users are a great source. Toy stores, craft shops, and supermarkets sell toys. No matter how flashy they look or what it says on the box, They are not real telescopes. Examples of reputable brands are Celestron, Orion, and Skywatcher, but there are many more. Personally, I shop almost exclusively with K-Tech Telescopes, which is an Irish firm, and astroshop.eu. Both are online and both only sell quality goods. I'm not sponsored by either. This is a genuine recommendation. I hope you decide to buy yourself or a loved one a scope this Christmas. It's a universe of fun. I wish you clear skies and, if you'll forgive me, a slightly early Merry Christmas.
2, 1, 0.